What happened to Rich Boy? What happened to that boy? My bad. Rich Boy was a rapper from the early 2000s out of Alabama. Fun fact, he was studying mechanical engineering before he decided to pursue a rap career. Stay in school, kids. His debut album reached number 1 on the US rap charts back in 2007. His next one in 2013 reached number 27. Yeesh. Something clearly went wrong. So looking back at his debut album, the lead single was Throw Some Bees on It, which was an absolute smash hit. I don't know about you guys, but I still play that song in my car today, even though I'm riding on 17-inch rims. They clean though. That song alone led to remixes with Lil Jon, Andre 3000, Jim Jones, Nelly, Murphy Lee, The Game, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Joel Santana. Oh, and some guy named Kanye West. Tom Brahan from Pitchfork praised Rich Boy's debut album by stating, "The album's stunning, high-impact production fits it into the recent tradition of epic, monolithic Southern rap albums like Young Buck's Straight Outta Cashville and Young Jeezy's Let's Get It Thug Motivation 101. Polo is now finding his voice, and he's got a great career ahead of him. If Rich Boy is lucky, he'll stay along for the ride." Hold on to that last thought. Polo the Don was the main producer on this album. Okay, he produced 9 out of the 16 songs. Fast forward a few years to 2010, and it was revealed that the song Love in This Club by Usher, which was also produced by Polo the Don, was made using 2 stock loops in GarageBand. Now look, I'm not discrediting him as a producer. There's nothing wrong with using loops or using stock sounds for your beats. I mean, I've basically built this channel around that. But to be an established producer and just throw a couple of loops together without chopping it or flipping it or even changing the pitch, I find shows a lack of creativity and a lack of effort as a creator. Subsequent to that, Polo the Don wasn't really part of any hit songs after 2011. Maybe with the exception of Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, but I mean, that was a Sir Mix-a-Lot sample. So it's possible that maybe he lost his credibility to the industry and they didn't want to risk putting their reputation on the line or their image on the line for this producer. I also heard recently that back in 2011, he let Bow Wow record a song over a beat that he forgot he already offered to Lil Wayne, which ended up being the song John featuring Rick Ross, which was a banger. So it's not exactly a great look, is it? But hey, at the end of the day, Rich Boy is his own man. Can a producer carry all the blame for the fall of an artist? No, of course not. That would be pretty unfair to Polo the Don, who has done some great things in his career. But imagine, for example, Missy Elliott without Timbaland. It just wouldn't hit the same. Now, it's a different situation, a different duo for sure, but there are some similarities, like Polo the Don used to feature on the songs that he produced, just like Timbaland did. So who knows what could have happened if Rich Boy and Polo the Don were able to grow alongside each other and build each other up. Now, this is just a theory, it's just my opinion, but I'm not the only one who feels that way. J23 of Hip Hop DX stated that Rich Boy ends up being a pretty good album, but it probably should have been titled Polo the Don, as he really deserves the bulk of the credit. And my man Gentry from Pop Matters concluded, both as an artist and a persona, Rich Boy lives up to his name. With the best thing one can say about him is that he has a certain get-rich-quick innocence, a certain naive hunger to succeed. Too bad that success depends so much on his collaborators. So you can draw whatever conclusions that you want to draw, but at the end of the day, Rich Boy was a big part of my childhood, and I still enjoy his music today, so, shout out to him. Now let's make him a beat. I think Rich Boy was onto something different and unique with his southern vocals over like energetic, bright, sampled beats. So I'm going to imagine him leaning into that, and I'm going to make him a beat in that same style. I found a sample on YouTube. It's just a piano sample. In fact, the song is called Piano by Bebu Silvetti, and I chopped it up. So I'm going to lay down some chops. If you've been using MPC software for a while, you know how versatile it can be, especially when it comes to sampling. So you may have noticed these yellow notes here and there, which have zero velocity. And when you put these notes on the grid, that means that that chop is going to stop playing as soon as it hits that note, that zero velocity note. Now, of course, I could just go to Program Edit, select all, and then go to note on instead of one shot. But when I'm playing my chops, I do like to just kind of tap the drum pads to play my chops. I prefer it that way. So just a personal preference. If you're wondering what pad A08 is, it's just a perk loop. Just to show you my little 808 roll here, I always ramp up the velocities just like I would for a hi-hat or a snare roll. To give it more of that southern flair, I got me some Pimp C vocals. Money on the drip, money on the drip. The first two pads are the same, just that one is pan to the left, the other one's pan to the right, and then the third one is the second part of the bar. Top-notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. And again, to show you the versatility of MPC software, instead of doing the one shot and the zero velocity note like I did for the sample, for here, I'm just using the note on function and I'm stopping it where I want the sample, where I want the vocals to stop. Money on the dresser. Money on the dresser. Top-notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Quick and dirty, just how I like it, baby. For the arrangement, I think for this, I'm gonna make a bit of a longer intro. So then when the sample comes in, it'll feel more like a sample switch up than like an intro and a verse and a chorus and all that type of stuff. But I don't know, we'll see. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something, and I'll be back next week with another episode of how to make beats for free. And this one's gonna be a banger, trust me. Until then, keep producing, baby.